Hey y'all, tonight we're gonna make sheet pan meatloaf, and I'm starting out with a large bowl, and I'm going to put in 4 slices of white bread. I'm gonna put those in there, and then we're gonna take 1/3 of a cup of milk, and we're gonna pour it over the bread, and we're gonna let it set for about 5 minutes. Make sure I got my milk soaking up with the bread. I'm going to let that set for about 5 minutes. Okay, now y'all, I have a large sheet pan. So I'm going to spray this with some cooking spray. And then I'm going to take some plain breadcrumbs. And I'm going to sprinkle a couple of tablespoons first. Because this actually called for more, but I'm not making exactly the same. I'm cutting it down some. So we're going to sprinkle these. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons and then 2 teaspoons. Originally it was 1/3 a cup, but I'm not doing that much. So okay, there we go. Okay, now that the bread has been soaking, oh, my meat, I defrosted it too long, y'all. It's kind of, I was defrosting it and these end pieces are, started to cook. Okay, I have 2 pounds of meat that I'm going to put in here. And then we're going to add in 1/3 a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 3 eggs, and it called for real parsley, like fresh parsley, and you know what, I have some somewhere and I can't find it. I thought I put it in my freezer, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to use some dried parsley flakes. I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, that may be too much. We're going to put that in there. And then it called for seasoning salt, but I want to try a little bit different. So hold on. I'm going to use this 21 seasoned salute, and I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of that. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt too, just because, and then we're going to add some pepper, probably about like that. Okay, now I'm going to use my hand, y'all, and we're going to mix this all up. Okay, y'all, now we're going to make our glaze. I halved this recipe, so I put 1/2 cup of ketchup. Actually, not 1/2, I'm sorry, 1/3 a cup, because I did this in thirds. So I did 1/3 cup of ketchup. Okay, followed by about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Next, we're going to add balsamic vinegar, and I did 1 tablespoon of that. I told y'all earlier I did this in thirds. Sorry. The original recipe, I did that in thirds, but on the glaze, I went ahead and just halved it. But I will have the original recipe linked down below. I got this from the New Pioneer Woman cookbook, but I found the recipe online also, so I linked it down below. Okay, next is the Worcestershire, the W sauce. I'm going to put 1/2 tablespoon of that. And then we're going to mix this up real well until it's smooth and there's no clumps left. And this sauce was so good. Even my oldest son said this was better than the sauce he loves that I usually use on my meatloaf balls. He said this was even better. So this is a good sauce. Okay, now we're back over to our cookie sheet or our sheet pan, whatever you want to call it. And I started putting the meat out kind of in little globs, and then I used my spoon to flatten it out across the pan as evenly as I could get it. This recipe originally called for 3 pounds of meat. I used 2. Once you get it all spread out, take your glaze and put about 1/2 of it. I ended up using all of that I made, which was half of the recipe. And then I mixed up another 1/2 to go on top because I realized that I was going to need all of it. So you're going to want to spread that out over the top of your meatloaf. And then you're going to top it with bacon. And what I ended up using was bacon that was already pre-cooked that I bought from Sam's, which I showed you there. And I just sprinkled it on top. You're going to want to bake this for 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Okay, y'all, ignore my camera angle. I don't know what I was doing here. Okay, it's been cooking for 20 minutes. I took it out, and then, of course, I made up another half of that recipe so I'd have glaze for the top. And you're going to want to spread that out over the top of your meatloaf, and then you're going to put it back into the oven and broil it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it will be done. If you're using parsley, which I did not have, you could sprinkle some of that parsley on the top after it's done. And let me tell you, this was so good. I may never make a meatloaf the same way again. This made it so much quicker, and it tasted just so good. Okay, here it is all done. I made some mac and cheese and some mashed potatoes. Easy peasy and yummy. I'll let you know what we think. Hey y'all, my niece Peyton is here, so we're gonna ask her first what she thinks of the food. Her and Courtney are not meatloaf fans, but what do you think of it? Have you not even took a bite? Okay, what do you think about it?
It tastes sweet.
Yeah, it's got a sweet sauce on top.
Yeah.
Bryce is going back to get more.
What do you rate? What do you rate it, Peyton?
Oh.
I rate it with the mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. 8.
Ah, okay, Courtney, you ate it. What does that mean? Did you like it actually?
I liked it better than the meatloaf balls.
Really? Is it because they're thinner? It's not. I thought you might like it better since it's it's not thick. Well, good. And it had bacon on top.
Oh, really? That's why it was crunchy. I didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you just burnt the meat a little bit. I'd be surprised.
Mom, you should burn this meat more often.
Like that bread you did yesterday.
What kind
Oh,
of
I forgot.
gosh.
Yeah, I accidentally left bread toast in the toaster.
Texas.
Hey, my husband still ate some. Okay.
I rate it a
Wait. Don't leave yet.
9.7.
My husband's trying to get up, so let me get his opinion. Did you like it? He ate like 2 or 3 plates of it, I think, right? Ooh, okay. Now to Bryce. We're kind of all mixed up today.
Very good. Very, very good.
You like it? You approve? All right, thank
I
you.
like the sauce even better than the other kind.
I like the bacon.
This one has,
It's
it
a lot more
actually has
tangy.
balsamic vinegar in it and Worcestershire sauce in it.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I finished it, but I know what it's right.
All right, Adrian, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Huh? Well, I liked it. I got a little bit more, so. Yep. I think this was, I would make it again.
Yep.
And you could take probably any of your meatloafs that you make and make it in a sheet pan. And it only took like 20 minutes or so.
Maybe a little bit long.
Hey y'all, tonight we are gonna make a white chicken parm. So it's basically like chicken parmesan, but without red sauce. It'll be with like Alfredo sauce. So I have this package here with 2 good sized chicken breasts, but I'm gonna cut these in half. Okay, y'all, I cut these as good as I could, and I know there's probably that little tendon thing. I'm not good at getting it out. So I'm gonna take and put these in a little bag, and I'm gonna kind of pound them down so they're more like I guess a cutlet, more. Okay, I don't know. I beat it to try to make it flat. Oh, I might have did a little too much there, but I did a little too much in the middle. But like this one, I want to be careful with because it's already kind of. Okay, I'm getting my eggs ready. We're gonna bread the chicken, but I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 eggs in one dish. I'm just using pie dishes, like pie pans, because I don't know. I just like to use those. So we're gonna put 2 eggs and beat those up. Okay, now I'm gonna put 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs in here, and I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning to it because these are just plain and we want it to be seasoned. So we're gonna 2 cups. 2. And then I'm going to take some Italian seasoning. Just mix that together. Okay. Okay, y'all. Now I have my chicken set out, and I'm going to season it with this Trader Joe. It's Trader Joe's everything but the leftover seasoning. My friend Monique sent this to me. I don't have a Trader Joe's, or I've never even been to one. So I don't know, it sounded good. So I'm going to season both sides of the chicken. And I have a pan with some vegetable oil already heating up over here. I have it on like medium high or so. But we're going to just dip it in our eggs. And then dip it in the panko. And then I'm going to put it straight over into the pan. I'm going to bring y'all over here so y'all can watch. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to cook the chicken, brown it on both sides, cook it real good, and then we are going to move on to the next step. Okay, instead of making a homemade Alfredo sauce, I just used a jar of the Classico, I think is what you call it, Alfredo sauce, and I put it over here in a saucepan. And I forgot to tell y'all that, but there will be a link to this like original recipe. And in the comments, there was a recipe for making your own sauce. But I just opted to use the jarred kind. Now I'm going to add the rest, or try to add the rest of that. What I can get out of here out. And I forgot to tell y'all what I did was, I always take a little bit of heavy whipping cream, or you can use milk. And I put it in the jar with the leftover sauce, and I kind of shake it up so that I can get all of the sauce out. And if the sauce is still kind of a little thick, I will add in either a little milk or a little whipping cream just to thin it out a little bit so that it stretches that bottle of sauce a lot further. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning to it also. And I may end up adding a little milk just to thin it out too. But for now, we're just going to do that and let it warm up. And it might be time to start flipping my chicken. I'll see that. Put it down just a little bit. Hey y'all, I have got a pan here. It's not really a 9x13, it's a little bit smaller, but we're gonna put our chicken in here. I've got it done. Got a little bit dark, but it should be all done. And they're gonna be a little bit crowded in here. I had a different pan, but it was gonna be too hot in there, so. Oh yeah, so you just have to kind of maneuver it just right. And now I'm gonna get our Alfredo. And I did end up adding a little bit of cream, like I told y'all. But I also added a little milk to thin it out a little bit. And we're gonna use some of it on here, and I'm gonna make just some spaghetti noodles that will put the rest of this on. So I'm gonna just put some of this over the top. So we'll see how much it needs. Okay, y'all, so now I'm gonna put some mozzarella cheese on these. And I have some Parmesan cheese. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit of that on there just to use it because I've had it. I mean, it's still good. I just thought I would use a little bit. So we'll sprinkle a little Parmesan on it. This is the shredded, not like the grated or whatever. And I have my oven preheated to 400, so we're going to stick this in the oven for about 10 minutes. I'm not gonna make as many noodles, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some salt in this water. Whoa, Gina. That was a lot of salt. Anyways, I'm gonna make just a little bit of spaghetti noodles because I don't need that many. And I'm thinking I'll put just a little tad more because it's just me and the kids, and so I'm gonna let those cook. I've got the Alfredo sauce just on warm back here, and then once it's done we'll mix those together. And I have some twisted garlic knot bread in the toaster oven cooking too. Okay y'all, now that the noodles are done, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour them right into that sauce back there and just mix it up. And like I said, I didn't want too much because, and actually I could have probably made more noodles. There's enough sauce I could have, but anyways, I just wanted to make a little bit of these noodles, and that's it. So sorry I didn't have it all on there, but that's all we're doing. Ooh, y'all, look at that. It's all the cheese is melted and stuff. It looks so good. Just waiting on the noodles and the bread, and then we will plate it up and let you know what we think. Courtney, this girl fell asleep on the couch. Lazy girl. She was tired. School was hard, I guess. So, what do you think of this? You like it? They always want Alfredo, but I get chicken Alfredo. I just get tired of it, so I wanted to try something different.
Make it.
I know. What do you think of this? You like
Chicken
it?
Alfredo? No, Alfredo chicken. It's good.
Adrian, what do you think, boy?
I think that it's fine.
Y'all,
You just should have made more noodles.
I know he loves the noodles. I could have, but I was worried I was making too much for the sauce. But anyways, y'all, it's good, and the chicken is not dry. It's juicy.
Why does
It's
the chicken
good.
have a green tint?
That's probably the seasonings I put in it. So yeah, the chicken's not green. She's looking at some. I think it's the seasoning on there, the breading or whatever.
And when I cut them open into it, it was a little bit green.
The chicken is the seasoning and the breading or whatever that I used. Anyways, y'all, I recommend it. Thumbs up. And it wasn't hard to make. Yay. Hey y'all, tonight we are going to be making a recipe from the new Pioneer Woman cookbook. It's called Beef Noodle Skillet. I wanted to show y'all real quickly. Let me show y'all. This is the name of the cookbook. I got this at Walmart on sale for $14. It's called The Pioneer Woman Cooks Super Easy, and it has 120 shortcut recipes for dinners, desserts, and more. And this recipe book is so cool. I have found so many recipes in here that I have marked that I'm going to make. I've got like little, I don't know if you can see these little papers I have at the top and everything. But anyways, so we're starting out with 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm also going to add in a medium onion that I finely chopped to the pan. And I have my pan on medium heat right now. Just trying to get some of these onions out of there. We're also going to add in 3 cloves of garlic. If I find this recipe online from the Pioneer Woman, I will link it down below, but if not, then I won't, because I don't want to share a recipe from a cookbook that's not, you know, available online somewhere, because I don't want to get in trouble for like copyright infringement or something like that. So anyways, I got my 3 cloves of garlic, and then the next thing I'm going to add is 1 pound of ground beef. And I'm just using ground chuck. I got it Brahms. We're going to add that in. I'm going to use my little thing for cooking meat. I'm going to turn this up a tad. I'm also going to put some salt and pepper in here because, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use, I'll show you what I'm going to use just a second. I am really liking this Trader Joe's 21 Seasoning Salute. It just tastes good, and I don't know, I just love the way it smells and everything. So I'm just going to use that to season this up.
So just because it didn't call for this in the recipe, we can do our own add-on. Now, the way she described this is being similar to Hamburger Helper, but of course it's homemade, so it's going to be a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and brown my meat and cook up these onions and everything together, and then I will come back. I don't want to bore y'all with just cooking the meat. Okay, y'all, I've got my meat done. Let me turn it down a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I want to drain it, but I want to leave a little bit of the juice, or a little bit of the grease in there. But I'm using a paper towel. And I think I've mentioned before, I believe it was my friend Julia Pacheco, who has a YouTube channel. She was doing this to help get grease out. So, I just will do that sometimes. And this meat had a little bit more grease in it than what I'm used to from the meat that I have. So, anyway, so I'm just gonna, I'll probably need one more paper towel and kind of go in there and try to get some of this. Okay, the next thing it asked for was 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I didn't have any tomato paste. I did not realize that. So I looked on Google. I always go to Google. And she told me to use 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce in place of every 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. So right here, I have 9 tablespoons of tomato sauce. It was almost the whole 8-ounce can that I had. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. So if you don't have tomato paste and you have tomato sauce, just do this. And we're going to stir this up, let it cook for about a minute or so. I just have this about on medium heat. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is add a 12-ounce bag of egg, like the egg noodles. Mine is a 16-ounce bag, so I'm going to use almost all of this. That looks about, I don't know. I think that's right. And then I'm going to add in, I don't have, it called for 2 tablespoons of grainy mustard, which I don't have. So I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of yellow mustard. I was looking earlier and it said, I mean, you can. It may not give the exact same taste, but that's all I have. So, and I don't use the other kind, so I didn't want to go out and purchase that just for this. So sometimes you just try what you have and hopefully it'll work out. Also, I need to add some, called for smoked paprika. I don't have that. I'm out of a lot of stuff. It was 1½ teaspoons, so I'm going to do about 1½ teaspoons of regular paprika. We're going to add 2½ cups of beef broth. It says a few dashes of the Worcestershire sauce. The last thing I need to add, I didn't look ahead, was 1 cup of hot water. So I'm letting my water run to get warm. It shouldn't take too long. We're going to also add a cup of hot water in here. And I'm just trying to use this other spoon. Sorry. It smells really good, y'all. Well, sometimes my water heats up fast and sometimes it don't. It's not quite there yet, so. And y'all, I'm excited. I don't know if it's going to happen yet, but some friends invited us to go into Oklahoma to where Ree Drummond from the Pioneer Woman, where her restaurant is. And my husband said we may do it. It just kind of depends on how his week goes, but I am so excited. I've never been there, and yeah, if I do, I will take pictures and everything and let y'all know how I like it. Okay. Now we're going to also add in a cup of hot water. Stir that all in good. Okay, I'm going to turn this up some so we can get this heated up. And then we're going to cover it and turn it down and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And you'll want to stir it occasionally. And basically we're wanting to make sure these noodles get all done. So. Okay, y'all, now that my water is boiling, I'm going to turn this down. Kind of get it to where it's simmering. Actually, since these noodles are smaller, I'm going to set my timer for about 7 minutes just because I don't want to overcook them. She said about 10, but she might have been using the wider noodle. So I'm going to set my timer for about 7 minutes and check them. So that's what you might do too, is look at the package for your noodles so that you don't overcook them. And so I will keep stirring this every now and then, and we have a few more things we're going to add, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, now we're going to add in, this is 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. I just went ahead and measured it out while I was waiting for this. And then I have 1/3 cup of sour cream. And we're going to stir this in. Let it cook for maybe another minute or so until the sauce will kind of thicken, and this will help. Well, it's probably going to be warm, but it'll kind of thicken up some. And then the last thing we'll do is add some salt and pepper. And they also called for some chives, but I don't have any chives, so we'll just omit that part. But if you have chives, I probably could have got green onions. I don't even know if I have any. I did. That could probably go in there, but I'm not even going to worry about that. So we're just serving this with salad. Just this and salad. I'm just going to cover it up for just a second, just to kind of let it heat, and then we will plate it up and let you know what we think. Adrian is done, but I want to know what you think. Was it good?
It was good. It's just, it has this taste to it.
It needs more seasoning, I think.
Yes. Yeah, but instead of that, it's good.
What about you, Bryce? Is that kind of the same thing you said? It's good, but I was surprised. It doesn't have a lot, and maybe it's because I didn't have the grainy mustard that they were talking about to put in it. Maybe that kind of made a difference. I thought about adding more seasoning, and I didn't. Maybe I should have.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's not bad. And look, y'all, I want to show y'all. I'm going to zoom in over there. Oh. Bryce made this. He's making these reindeer and selling them.
He also makes these Christmas trees right here.
Oh, yeah. Adrian's going to show you one of them. Oops, I'm kind of
He
zoomed in.
makes these. There's this one, and then he has a smaller one.
Well, the smaller one he's not going to. No, the smaller one he's just giving to me because he said it's too hard for him to make those.
But these ones, I can either stand
And so he has
up,
people around here that's
or
ordering
there's
them.
a circle right here where you can just like have an ornament.
Anyways, he got a skill saw scroll saw. A scroll saw. So now he's gonna start doing woodworking. But anyways, for the most part, y'all, I think this was good. You could probably add some shredded cheese on top, and a little more seasoning, and then I think it would be perfect. But it was very easy to make. Bye. I was wondering why they were grinning at me. I forgot to. I forgot to ask Courtney. Courtney.
I'm not gonna answer now.
Why? I didn't forget about you. I thought I already asked you.
Yes, you did. You usually the one to ask first.
I thought I did, but then I started talking about the reindeer. I'm sorry. Will you tell me what you think about it? Me and her had a salad. The salad's good, and she's liking this zesty Italian. Are you mad at me? Okay, well, Courtney's not gonna give me her opinion, so